Hey, Dr. Bosenegger here, and it is time for whale mail again. Although, I preface this by saying our most recent package may not actually be whale material, but marine mammal material in general. Our colleague, Jim Geddert from the Olympic Peninsula in Washington, has recently found what appears to be some kind of a tusk. It is in younger rocks than he normally collects. It is from the Montesano Formation. About 2 years ago, Morgan Churchill and I, another marine mammologist, named a new species of fossil seal from there called Allodesmus demerii. This rock unit, the Montesano Formation, is about 9 to 10 million years old, so it's quite a bit younger. It's late Miocene in age. This tusk was found in 2 pieces about a year apart. So the first piece, I think this is all just extraneous packaging. The first piece was found last August, and the second piece was found just a couple weeks ago. He dashed this off as soon as he found more of it. So I'm really curious to see what we've got here. Actually, it looks like there's several blocks here. So he's actually got them separated by the collection date. So this is JLG 720. We have all this nice data that Jim has sent along. Did not let that linger too long because don't want to share his locality data with the world. But every single specimen that Jim collects, I might need scissors for this, he assigns a unique field number. Often, for example, here, he'll just write it directly on the rock. So, in this case, this specimen from photos looked like it was in softer matrix, in which case it's a little bit more difficult to actually write that on there. But I've already gone ahead and accessioned the specimen, and I'm just curious to see what exactly we have. It is pretty soft. Alright, so that broke a little bit in transit, but it actually split off right from the rock, which is okay. So this is the Montesano Formation. It can be quite crumbly. It can also be relatively concretionary. So that seal skeleton that Morgan and I described a couple years ago was in a torpedo-sized and shaped concretion. Now this is the tip of the tusk here, and one of the things I'm going to be looking for is the cross-section and if there's any external sculpturing. So there are a few different types of marine mammals with tusks from the late Miocene. If you were in South America, there would also be one cetacean with tusks called Otobina cetops, the walrus-faced whale. But these rocks are, one, not in South America. You know, we're talking about coastal Washington here, so Pacific Northwest. And two, we're also about 2 to 3 million years too old for any of those very strange walrus-like whales. There's another piece there. And this is going to require a bit of glue, but actually in pretty good shape. So if you look, there's a crack right there. I'm going to have to apply some glue in that crack to make sure it doesn't fracture any further. I'll talk about a few observations I've made on the fly while I've gotten glances at this thing. So some of the marine mammals that you can find with tusks, of course, modern marine mammals, there are walruses, beaked whales that have relatively short tusks anyway. No beaked whale has tusks quite this long. There's also the narwhal, but the narwhal doesn't really have much of a fossil record. The oldest fossil narwhals are from the Middle Pleistocene of England. And actually, it's just one tusk fragment. And narwhals further have tusks that spiral about their long axis. So this, I don't really want to open up too much more. Yeah, let's get that out. There we go. So that piece there meets up, let's see how, about like that. There's also, I mentioned walruses. This is about 3 or 4 million years too old for the oldest known tusked walruses. If this was a walrus tusk, it would be a pretty major discovery, to be honest. One thing that's unique about walrus tusks is that they have little dentine beads inside, which is called globular dentine. So I'm going to take a hand lens here in a moment and take a look. I doubt there's going to be any globular dentine. The oldest known true tusked walruses are from the latest Miocene, earliest Pliocene, at about 5 to 6 million years in age, from California and Japan. I doubt we're going to have a 3 to 4 million year extension of the tusked walrus fossil record, but you never know. The other possibility is it could be from a Dusignathine walrus. These are things like Gomphotaria and Dusignathus, known from rocks that are just a couple million years younger than this. The other possibility, of course, and the one I think is strongest, is that this is from a Desmostilian, which is a bizarre hippo-like mammal that used to live in shallow marine environments, basically from Baja California north to Alaska and then west to Japan. I don't see, at present, much evidence of globular dentine. There might be some. I'll have to look more carefully, but there's also the possibility that this is a sperm whale tooth if it's not enormous. And some sperm whale teeth get this big. So some careful comparisons are needed still. But at present, I am leaning towards sperm whale or Desmostilian, although I cannot really exclude the possibility that this is from a large pinniped. Something like Allodesmus could have canines this big. There are specimens of a gigantic Allodesmus seal from the late Middle Miocene of Japan, just about 2 million years older than this. That's called Allodesmus sinanoensis, and it's just a titanic seal, probably the 4th largest pinniped or 4th largest carnivore in general to evolve, after elephant seals and the slightly larger extinct walrus Pontolus magnus. Anyway, we will follow this up once we have a closer identification. Thanks for tuning in.